And welcome to another edition of the Big Knick Energy Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Yoke, the Bald Kid Wonder. We got Megamind Angelo, the bald content creator. For some reason, I'm that fan wearing Yankee hat. I'm kind of confused by that, honestly. And our very special guest today, Richie Dollaz from Waterbury, Connecticut. Man, I'm in CT right now. I appreciate that.
Are you in CT?
I live in Stratford, yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, not too far. I used to work at Waterbury literally all the time. How long ago did you move out of Waterbury?
Well, the story with Waterbury is I'm actually, the internet says I'm from Waterbury. I'm not actually from Waterbury. I'm from New York, but my mother and my father are from Waterbury. My mother had me when she was in college. She went to Georgetown. So when the year before, she had me when she was 18. Went away to college. I lived with my grandmother for 4 years until my mother graduated. And then we both moved back to New York.
Congrats to your mom, so man. Having a kid at 18 and then still graduating college is no joke. That is hard as hell.
Yeah, that's that black girl magic, man.
That's all I'm talking about. Honestly,
Joe, let me play this song. Oh shit, it fucked up.
Oh God, this is gonna be great content for people to make fun of you.
This is the most Angelo's moved in 8 months.
No, that's
this is true. For anyone that doesn't know, Richie Dollaz, aka Rich Trowers, CEO of Dollaz Unlimited, apparently not from Waterbury, Connecticut. The internet is lying. It's been on many iterations of love and hip hop, even before hip hop was a thing. I feel like you've been on the show for so long. Jumping right into it though, man. Just so you know, before we get too deep, I feel like me and you agree on more things than you and Angelo do. Angelo runs our Twitter, so I'm gonna try to be a crazy like referee as you two go throw haymakers at it. First and foremost, do you really think Kira Lewis is better than Lonzo Ball currently, or is that like a future prediction?
No, that's a future prediction. What I think is that what made Lonzo Ball expendable all year was that they drafted Kira Lewis last year at 14, right? So you already took him high and you took him as a lottery pick. So you obviously thought highly of him, okay? And now that Lonzo is actually playing a lot better this year than probably anybody anticipated.
His 3-point percentage is way higher than anyone thought. That's for sure, based on his form.
Way higher. So, but you still have Kira Lewis in house, and you still think that highly of him. So Lonzo Ball was still expendable all year.
The drop off. If Lonzo Ball, let's say Lonzo Ball got shipped to the Knicks.
And I don't know how your audio for all of these is always off.
Whatever. But the drop off from Lonzo Ball to Kira Lewis is a drop off, Rich.
No, it isn't.
Oh,
no, it isn't.
You're crazy.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. You haven't seen Kira Lewis play.
I don't want to watch him play.
I've seen him play 3 good games out of the 30 plus games that he's gotten minutes in. He can move the ball around a little bit. He's a little shifty, but dude, he is small for today's NBA, and he does not have a Trae Young or Steph Curry shot.
No, he doesn't have a Trae Young or Steph Curry shot. But what I'm telling you is that Kira Lewis is going to be able to do what's necessary for that team. He's going to be able to do what's necessary for that team. Now, take into consideration that they're trying to play Zion at the point forward,
which is the best move they did. I think.
I agree with that. I don't know that you take the ball out of Lonzo's hands.
Also, Ingram is a great scorer in his own right, so it's like tough to have the ball going away. My personal opinion on the Lonzo Ball Kira Lewis thing is that I think they already understand, no matter how good they think Lonzo Ball is that he is not staying in New Orleans. No matter what they want, that dude's dad runs his life, I think, more than we'll all ever want to admit for him. And he's going to be, since he already failed in LA for what it's worth, he's going to end up in New York or Chicago or another major market.
20 M's.
New Orleans.
Yeah, 20 M's.
Ideally.
I don't know that New York wants to give him 20 mil. First of all, I don't know that he's worth 20 mil. Second of all, third of all, I'd like to reserve the right to determine who the Knicks bring in. Can we wait until after the draft?
Wait, and you think they're going to give him 20 mil this year?
I think, listen, Yahoo reported he's trying to get 20 mil. I don't know if he's going to get 20 mil, but like I said, I told Rich, Eric Bledsoe, 18 mil. Ricky Rubio, 16 mil.
Those guys are overpaid.
Those are overpaid deals.
But when his agent goes to these teams and is like, hey, this is what I'm offering, my skill, my package, I'm young, I could hoop. these guys get this amount. You know, they always get deals in comparison to the guys on their same level. And I'm not saying Rubio and Bledsoe are on his level. I think Ball's better. But you're telling me that he's not worth more than Eric Bledsoe and Ricky Rubio?
What I'm telling you is that, well, no, I am going to tell you that he wasn't worth Eric Bledsoe when Eric Bledsoe got that money.
Eric Bledsoe was the starting point guard in the Eastern Conference Finals. He was the starting point guard in the Eastern Conference Finals. He's worth some money.
Here's my thing with contracts. When you get a contract, is it from what you did prior to the contract, or when you sign that deal, it's what you're doing after?
It's supposed to be what you're projected to do. Unfortunately, most dudes, their 28 to 30-year second contracts they get paid for past performance and then fall off a cliff, i.e. Eric Bledsoe. Ricky Rubio came into the league as the freaking king of Europe. So that's why he got his money. He didn't get his money based on what he did in America. He got his money based on what he did in Europe and what they thought they were getting from him. Ricky Rubio has been a flop in all things considered. He's a decent second team point guard, but he's not what people thought he was going to be when he came from Europe. It's tough to really come into the NBA without a shot. Ricky Rubio would have been better 10 years prior. And he's finally like a 35% 3-point shooter. He's like the worst version of Jason Kidd. He started out as a great passer, and Jason Kidd got his percentage up to over 40% by the end of his career, 3-point wise. And Rubio has never been able to get there. Also much slower on defense. Fast hands, but can't move his leg.
That hit shot, that shot is awful.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
He shoots like the Ball brothers did when they started.
Let's do a Ball comparison like this. Do you think Timmy Hardaway Jr. was worth what they gave him when he came to the Knicks?
Fuck no.
The Knicks just had to overpay.
Hell no. No. So let's not talk about what people get in comparison to what they deserve, because oftentimes you get a contract based on a bunch of different things. Lonzo Ball has been in the public eye so heavily that he's not going to sneak in with a $20 million contract. Like, he's been scrutinized. Everybody knows what he is, what he gives you, and what he's not. He's
still really young, though. He's only 23. I think he should get 14 or 15 mil a year this upcoming contract.
If he gets 14, I give Lonzo Ball.
Rich, it's got to be close to 18. 18, bro.
I give him 50. You said, okay, I wouldn't even be mad at.
You said 20 at first, though. 18 is still, I think, is a little high, but I think he's going to get it.
The 20?
I think he's going to get the 18. I think he's going to get to 18. I would only pay him 15. I think he's going to get 18.
I think he's going to be okay, but so we're splitting hairs. If you're going between 15 and 18, I'm not going to be mad if you give a dude $15 extra million over 5 years. Like,
agreed.
With the money, with the new the way the CBA is going to go up with the new basketball TV money, I'm not going to be mad at him getting that. 15 to 18, I'm cool. I'm not going 20 for Ball.
Rich, I actually have a question for you, because you mentioned the draft too, about who we want to have in the future. Because you also tweeted recently about the Knicks needing Jalen Suggs ASAP, which is a fire point guard to potentially have. Better shot, a little slower than Lonzo and a little smaller. Who would you rather have next year if you were the Knicks, Lonzo Ball or Jalen Suggs? Assuming for you to get Jalen Suggs, though, you had to trade both your first round picks to move up that high.
Lonzo Ball.
But if you can get Jalen Suggs straight up, you would take him over Ball, but you don't want to trade.
I don't want to trade. I don't want to give up. I think the Knicks are not. Does Lonzo Ball take the Knicks over the top? Which is why I didn't want to get Lonzo Ball this year.
It's too early to say that, but we gotta take a chance somewhere, Rich.
I want to stick to the trust the process. Like, I want to see where we fall in this year's draft. Like, right? Because everybody's expecting the Knicks to be around 16, 17, and Dallas to be in the 20, 25 range, 20, 22.
They're going to end up being like right next to each other, probably.
I think they are. I think they're, but it's hard for me to say, man, because I don't want to come off like I'm a Lonzo Ball hater, because I'm actually not. He's 6'6", he plays defense, he's shooting the ball good, he's a distributor. And I think him and RJ in the backcourt, with the way they use Randall, that's a pretty decent setup. But Jalen Suggs, man, that kid, Cade Cunningham, man, that kid.
He just declared for the draft.
Yeah, he just Cade Cunningham. Well, we all knew he was.
Well, he's going to go number one overall, ideally. So, like, it makes sense.
So I'm looking at it like the Knicks need a 1 and the Knicks need a 3. If you can determine how you want your three to play. Do you want to have a Corey Kispert, Joe Harris kind of three, or do you want to run and jump athletic three? You can determine how you want to play that. But the Knicks need a 1 and a 3 and a healthy Mitchell Robinson.
If the Knicks didn't go after Ball, Rich, who would you even besides? I mean, I don't know if they would draft a point guard. I don't really know where they're sitting in terms of what they want to do. Do they want to draft? I mean, I guess they got to weigh their options. But if they couldn't get Lonzo Ball this summer, what would you want them to do?
Yo, I know I live in Connecticut right now, but James Bouknight out of UConn is fire.
He could hoop.
Yeah,
I would love that dude.
James Bouknight is tight. He sold him out in the NCAAs. He sold out.
Yeah.
Bouknight sold out the other night. But he's tough. He's tough. He's really, really tough. Danny got that kid playing good ball. But he's a 2. You think Bouknight is a 1?
I think he turn into a 1. He's a great distributor. I think he just looks for a shot too much on a team that doesn't have as many good players as they usually have. I feel like it like sucks to watch college basketball and you're watching teams and you're like, all right, they're all like 4 or 5-star recruits. And then you're watching the games and you're like, oh, one guy clearly is better than the rest of his team. And if you're a dude under 6'6", you have the ball in your hand most of the time. Like Bouknight doesn't have like a big to like rim run and shit with that, Like there's no Mitchell Robinson on UConn right now.
Okay.
It's just tough. I was going to say another name would be Moses Moody. I fucking love Moses Moody.
I love Moses Moody too. I love him too. But see, this is why I say the draft is so deep. Like, and we haven't even talked about Jalen Green. We haven't talked about Kumongo. We haven't talked about Knicks. We haven't talked about the kid from Florida State.
Mobley.
We haven't talked about Corey Kispert. We haven't talked about the kid from Auburn. We haven't talked, come on, like there's so many. We haven't talked about the kid from Stanford. We haven't talked about all the guys that were supposed to be good from Duke and Boston and the other kid from Kentucky that are falling in the draft. The Knicks could actually, like, and then you're talking about paying people. The Knicks need to get a good rookie. They need to get somebody. So now you can go pay people.
And not draft another 23-year-old.
Contract.
Agreed.
Quickly is a Jordan Clarkson, Lou Williams type of player. He's gonna.
Do you think he can develop into a ball distributor? Do you think he can develop that?
Into a what?
A ball distributor. Do you think he could pass off a little bit more? I know he looks for a shot a lot right now.
I just think that his mentality is point per game. I think point per minute mentality. I think he has a point per minute mentality. I think he wants to come in, and even now, he's coming in and he's getting up 11 shots in 13 minutes. Like that, I think he's just suited for that role. I think he's just a Lou Williams, Jordan Clarkson kind of guy.
He might be suited for that role, possibly, but he's fucking way better than Elfrid Payton. He should. I'm not saying he should. Ah, man, Rich, we're gonna get crazy.
No, go ahead.
If he's I agree with you that he could be that Jordan Clarkson, Lou Williams mold. But to say that putting him in the starting lineup, the Knicks are not better is fucking crazy. The floor is
okay.
I mean, we've seen it when he started those few games. The floor opened up. Barrett was playing so much better when Quick was at point guard, just because there's not an extra man sagging off Payton the whole entire fucking game.
Okay. When you say they're better, you're saying the first team is better. You're saying that. See, the way I look at it is, I don't look at it as saying, okay, Quickly is clearly better than Elfrid Payton. Like, come on, nobody's gonna ever say that he isn't at this point in time. Elfrid Payton can't shoot. He doesn't even really handle the ball like that because Randall's playing point forward when Payton's. But what I'm saying is, if you take Quickly off the second team, now what do?
They need Rose back. It's just that Derrick Rose is back
in
the whole thing.
You need Derrick Rose.
Listen, I'm a first quarter kind of guy. I hate to see, like, at the beginning of the year, we were fucking horrible in the first quarter. We got beat in the first quarter, and a lot of good basketball teams are good first quarter teams. So I hate to fucking see every game night that Knicks Twitter account where they post Elfrid Payton in the starting lineup every night. It makes me fucking sick. I'd rather just not have him play at all. I know that's crazy to say, but listen, if I had this conversation with Joey, I think
almost every day.
I think Elfrid Payton, if he just like thought of himself as an 18 to 22 minute basketball player coming off the bench for a really good basketball team, he would be better suited for that kind of role. And listen, I get you're a professional athlete and you always want to, you know, strive for better, and you always want to be a starter. You always want to think you're better than the next man. But he's not suited for this role. He was on Orlando. He had to start because Orlando was fucking terrible. He was on the Suns because he started. They were okay. He played okay. He played on the Pelicans. They were okay. He started with them. It's just like every team he's on, there is nobody better than him. But if he just decreased his own value, let's just say he played for the fucking Clippers, 18 to 22 minutes as a backup point guard, Elfrid Payton's stock would be way higher than it is right now. But because he's fucking morphed into this role where he's got to shoot 15 shots a game and he's got to play 35 minutes and, you know, be put in.
You guys made him that. You guys made him that. You guys made Elfrid Payton go away from who he wants to be. I don't think Elfrid Payton wants to shoot 15 times a game. I think he's so sick of looking at the fucking blogs every day and people tearing his ass apart because he's not putting the ball in the air.
I'm not the one making him miss layups, man. Rich, I'm not the one that's like not even blocking him at the rim and this dude like hits the backboard the wrong way.
Listen, I'm not gonna get in here and defend Elfrid Payton. I'm not a big Elfrid Payton fan, but I'm saying that Elfrid Payton is not as bad as Knick Nation wants him to be. He really is not that bad. It could be worse, guys. It could be worse.
I think he could be a backup quarterback. I think he could be a backup point guard somewhere. I just don't want to be the starter on my fucking team.
The only
who do you start? So Derrick Rose is hurt or has COVID and he's out and he's got an ankle injury or whatever's going on. Then who do you start? You can't start quick. You can't take quickly. I just don't want you to take quickly off the second team. The Knicks need a point guard. That's not in debate.
Randall's going to bring the ball up at this point 70 to 80% of the time anyway. Exactly. Just fucking have Ntilikina out there. Just have Ntilikina play defense. At least he plays defense better than Payton. And he doesn't pretend Rich, he doesn't pretend to try to go to the basket. He knows who he is. Elfrid Payton lies in his head about how good he is at going to the paint.
So you're going to tell me that you'd rather have Frankie on the court than Elfrid Payton?
I'd rather them both get the same amount of minutes. I'd rather Elfrid get 12, Frankie get 12 to 15, and quickly get 20. And that's most of the minutes you need at point guard. Let Alec Burks cover the rest. I want Payne out there 25, and then Frank gets 0. Frank gets DMPs all the time. And they could have used his defense so much for the last 5 minutes last night. So much. We lost to the fucking Timberwolves, and the turning point in that game was Anthony Edwards fucking taking the ball from Elfrid Payton when he looked the wrong way after the rebound, and they could have iced the clock from there. And this dude just literally did not see this steam engine steal the ball and run away.
So the whole 18-point loss, the whole 18-point lead, losing that doesn't mean anything.
It meant a lot, but like that was the actual turning point.
You got to touch on Anthony Edwards disrespecting our guy RJ too.
Anthony Edwards is a beast.
He is a beast.
Anthony Edwards is a beast.
Like keeper in fantasy.
He's a fucking savage.
One thing I do find crazy about Knicks fans is that a lot of them, maybe myself included at one point, thought Quickly was better than Anthony Edwards. And I watched Anthony Edwards play 2 games and I was like, there's no shot.
No. If you watched Anthony Edwards at Georgia and you watched Quickly at Kentucky, you knew that he wasn't better than Edwards is a freak.
I get caught up in shooting percentages too much. And Anthony Edwards puts up 20 shots a game sometimes, and he's like 2 for 20.
Yes, but I think that changes as he grows and gets accustomed to who he is in that role. And then D'Angelo comes back, and then they have what they have. They have the little 3 of Karl Towns just can never stay healthy. But Anthony Edwards is a savage, bro. Anthony Edwards, listen, I like RJ Barrett. I think he's going to be, I say it all the time, I think he's going to be a 28-5 guy for a lot of years. But Anthony Edwards and the athleticism and the stuff that he brings to the table, he's just on a different level. He's just a different level of a freak. He's a freak athlete. And that's what RJ really lacks.
If you're going to compare the two of them, I would say that Anthony Edwards has a much higher ceiling, but also a much lower floor. Anthony Edwards could be the same thing as someone that craters out of the league, like who was the really athletic guy a couple of years back? Michael Beasley was really athletic and cratered. Jeff Green never reached his peak as what he should have. Aaron Gordon definitely never was who we thought he would be.
Well, Aaron Gordon, well, yeah. Well, let's I like Aaron Gordon, and I think the dunk contest probably hurt him because it gave people expectations, and they started looking at him a little differently. Like, damn, you're the dunk guy, but but he really is not such a bad player. He really is a 15 a night guy. So he's not Kenny Skywalker. Right?
Don't tell his family that.
So I mean, I don't know, man. I just feel like I look at it right now, and I think Quickly has found himself a niche on the second team as that volume scorer, as that Jordan Clarkson, Lou Will kind of guy. I think the Knicks need to find their point guard, their first team point guard, and leave well enough alone.
One thing you actually posted last week that I really gravitated towards was Darius Garland, and you were like, how the Knicks have to figure out a way to pry Darius Garland out from the Cleveland, but like, how the hell would we even do that?
We couldn't do it, but you. Colin Sexton and Darius Garland are the same. You have two people, they're the same person in the backcourt. So, I mean, I don't know how you do it because I don't know that the Knicks have the assets, or I don't know that the Knicks want to give up their assets for Darius Garland right now. But Darius Garland and Colin Sexton are the same person.
They're both almost the same size, too. Neither one of them can cover any two.
You have two 6'2s in the backcourt. Like, and they shoot and they handle. And Colin Sexton, if he was to give Colin Sexton a legit two guard, that changes Cleveland's complexion. If you was to give the Knicks one of them 2 point guards, you're not getting Colin Sexton. So it has to be Darius Garland. It changes the complexion. Darius Garland's better than Lonzo Ball. I said it.
Angelo, I don't want to tell you this. I think I agree with that from a peak standpoint. I think Lonzo Ball's better right now because he's played more games for a couple more years, and Darius Garland missed most of his first year. But like, I think Darius Garland is like a little better peak wise than Lonzo Ball.
Garland couldn't guard me right now, and that's saying much.
Angelo, that's your go-to for everything. I like defense more than you.
Darius Garland is tough, man. That kid is tough. I don't know if y'all watched him at Vandy, but that kid is tough.
He tries his ass off. The thing is, he also gets hurt a lot for trying his ass off.
Yes, and that's the other thing. But he's a small guy. He's not, listen, the Knicks need a point guard. I'm not gonna sit on here and pretend to be. I'm not a Lonzo Ball hater. I don't think he's the end all be all like your friend over here. But I think that he definitely could help the Knicks, not at 20 a year. At 15 a year for 5, okay.
Rich, that core, if the Knicks grab Ball, we would have Julius Randle. Next year, I think he'll be 27. We'll have RJ Barrett next year, 22?
21. He's only 20 right now. He's the youngest dude on the team.
And then Lonzo Ball will be what?
24.
23.
That core, when has the Knicks had a core of 3 young guys trending in the upward directions? We've never had it.
What do you mean? We just had Carmelo Anthony and Oh, never mind.
I'm talking about the youth. I'm talking about the youth. Good youth.
So does that core that you just said, RJ Barrett, Lonzo Ball, and Julius Randle, does that core put the Knicks in the top 4 in the East?
Can Mitchell Robinson stay healthy for a full year? Because if they can, he's actually like a rim protecting center for, I would say, 75 out of 82 games. Based on the East right now, 4th is wide open.
Okay, I'm gonna give you
this. Beat the Bucks, the Nets, or the Sixers with that team? Most likely not. Still,
I'm gonna give you Lonzo Ball, RJ Barrett. Find you a 3.
Don't say DeMar DeRozan, Rich. Don't do it.
I'm not gonna say DeMar DeRozan. I'm gonna say find you a 3. For the 3 of your choice, with Randle and Mitchell Robinson, does that 5 with the 3 of your choice? Does that 5 put the Knicks in the top 4? And I think that you just omitted Boston.
Is a 3 of my choice Kawhi Leonard?
You just omitted Miami and Boston.
I'm saying it's wide open. I'm not saying I'm beating Boston or Miami. I'm saying we're competing with them. Currently, the Bucks, Sixers, and Nets are who they are.
Okay. So then you have Miami and Boston as that next tier.
Right. So I think we could be in there.
So with Lonzo Ball, the Knicks will still be where they are right now in that, trying to get into that second tier. My point has been made. With Lonzo Ball, the Knicks are still trying to get into that 4, 5, 6 place, which is what we're trying to do now.
Rich, who do you think gets them to the next tier?
I was going to say, if I make the 3 Kawhi Leonard, because then we are in the next tier.
No, like a realistic tier.
Realistic player.
Realistic player to get us to that tier.
I have to see, I don't think it's just about the 1. I think it's about the 1 and the 3.
That's what I mean. You said we.
So who's your ideal 3 in the draft or in free agency coming up?
I mean, it's all about lottery balls. I'm hoping that the Knicks fall. As much as I want to see the Knicks win, as much as I would hope, I want the Knicks to fall in that 1 through 8
Rich, here's my question though. We've been dealing with so many young players and rookies for what 3 years now. We've been bringing in new guys. Do we take more kids on, or do we say fuck this? Like we have our young kids who we've established. Now let's add some experienced talent.
Try to make a trade.
You might have to make a trade, but I don't know who's out there. I think the Knicks, if you want to play the game the way I think you should play the game with the Knicks, I think the Knicks are 2 years away. I think the Knicks are 2 years away, no matter how you look at it. So I don't know that I want to give up this draft capital and go out there and go get me a Lonzo Ball, who I'm telling you is not going to change where we are. We're going to have this conversation again. Now we can do it. We can have this conversation again on April 1st of next year.
I hear you. You're saying like it doesn't make you and it also doesn't break you. You're going to be at the same skill level with or without Lonzo.
Correct.
Yeah, but here's my thing. We even if we get to that 4 or 5 seed, we grab Lonzo Ball. In another 2-3 years, this team could be completely blown up. What if we want to get Devin Booker, right? Who's Leon Rose, there's CAA. We got to get more assets. In another 2 years, if Devin Booker's contract's up or whenever his contract's up, we could get rid of RJ Barrett. You know, we gotta gather more assets if we want to get to that 1, 2, 3 tier. I don't know if this is the team at all, but getting Ball is the next step. There's definitely another step after that. That other step, I don't know what it is. To be determined.
Let's steal Taylor Horton Tucker from the Lakers. He's a restricted free agent this year. Let's overbid on another 20-year-old and see how it goes.
Hey, Rich, what do you think the Knicks do in the big man situation this year with Mitchell down? Do we go buy a big, or we just see where we land this season?
Nah, you see where you land. You set it out for the rest of this year. I think honestly, the Knicks right now are a success story. No matter what happens between now and the end of this season, the Knicks are a success story. Nobody's going to be mad in New York if we lose every game from here on out, as long as we play hard and do what we're supposed to do.
They already passed their over-under for the year from Vegas. It was 22.5. They're at 24 wins.
They're at 24, and they're going to get another 6 or 7. They're going to win 30-something games this year. And Tibbs is going to be in the running for Coach of the Year, and they'll probably lose to the kid down in Phoenix. What's the kid that played for the Knicks? Monty Williams, I think. Is he the coach? Yeah. So I think they'll probably lose Coach of the Year to one of those. But I think Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson are what you're going to look at for the rest of this year.
Do you think if we make the playoffs, not the play-ins, we get just in enough that Thibodeau's value for Coach of the Year goes higher?
Absolutely. I think if the Knicks get in the 6, 7, 8 seed, then Tibbs is Coach of the Year.
Do we get out of the first? Do we get out of the first round?
No.
It would literally depend on who's if we're 4 or 5, we have a chance, but we're not beating 1, 2, or 3, no matter what, unless like Giannis or Embiid and Simmons or.
Can we just say how exciting it is to even say like we're get to talk about possible playoff situations for the Knicks? Like how different is this?
And that's my whole point. That's the point that I'm trying to make. I mean, that's the point I'm trying to make on Twitter, and people go crazy when I say we're already a success. Like, this is what happens when people get they get a taste of success and then they want to go and jump out the window. And then they throw it all away. We've been in obscurity for so long. We're in a place now where people are actually happy and looking forward to going back to the Garden and watching basketball. And it's like, oh my God, don't throw it away by going and make some moves that aren't going to change anything in the big scheme of life, but yet going to spend all your money.
Yeah, we've done that enough as the Knicks. We've made moves when we shouldn't have. We fucking ruined everything. So I'm kind of with you, Rich, to the point saying like, let's not ruin this.
Ben, what did you say your big line was for the past couple of years? It was like, will this move make me beat the Lakers?
Yeah, so the whole thing was back when the Warriors were the super team. It's, will signing this guy beat the Warriors? If no, do not do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, let's just see how this plays out. And I'm not saying don't go get Lonzo Ball after you actually make the assessment. Like, I was very, very happy when the trade deadline expired and we didn't make any major moves, right? Because now let's see how this plays out for the rest of the year. Like, we have time. Nothing changes. Life does not change. We're not that team that needs Oladipo to take us over the top, or so they think, in Miami, right? So we're not those guys. So let's just play this thing out. Let's see how this thing unfolds. And if the draft, if the Knicks are in the 16 to 18 range and the Mavs are in the 21 to 23 range, and then you want to go get Ball because now you're stuck with the kid from Auburn, then so be it. But what if you win the lottery? What if the Knicks finally fall into the 14 range, and all of a sudden now you're in line for Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, freaking.
If you land top 5, you can't trade your pick this year.
Huh?
If you land in the top 5, those top 5 guys are above and beyond the rest of the guys. You can't trade your pick this year.
You got to keep them. I mean, I would venture to say that the Knicks are like the known number 8 drafter, right? Like that's our pick, right? This is the first year where you go to number 8 and you actually might get something that's not Kevin Knox or Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah.
This is the first year you might actually get a Book Knight or a Moody or a Kispert. Like those are legitimate 8s. In the normal year, those guys are top 5.
This is legit. This is like the best draft class in like 3 or 4 years.
Come on, man. That's all I'm saying is let's just play it out. I'm not a Ball hater. I think he's tough. I think he's a good player. I'm just saying, let's play it out. Let's let this thing play out and see where we fall.
Rich, to hop off the Knicks a little bit real quick, because this is another thing that I know you and Angelo disagree on. Vucevic to the Bulls, I think was a great move. I think they actually made too many moves at the trade deadline because they also got Theis, Al-Farouq Amino, Troy Brown Jr., Javonte Green, which to get 5 players inserted into your rotation without any practice when you're on a West Coast trip is wild, and they're 0-3 since then. But I think Vooch is a gigantic pickup. I know you agree with that. How do you feel?
No, I do agree with that. And I think that the key to the Bulls is Laurie. If Markkanen can stay healthy, they have a nice 3. That Vucevic with Markkanen, and then you have Zach LaVine, and then I'm not a big Kobe White fan, but he's cool.
He's a rookie. You got to figure it out.
You got a little something in Chicago, and then I don't think Chicago was making that move for this year, because that move doesn't really change their life this year. It changes their life next year. And then if they get the draft pick, now you're starting to accumulate. And that's what we're talking about with the Knicks. You're starting to accumulate assets.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, you still end up with a top 14 pick. And you got Vucevic, and you got Zach LaVine, and you got Kobe White, and you got a healthy Lauri Markkanen. Now, all of a sudden, the Knicks...
They're most likely losing Markkanen at the end of the year, from what I'm hearing. Like, they're not going to match his restricted free agent offer, most likely.
If he could stay healthy, I would want the Knicks to get him. I love that kid.
I'm so happy you said that. I thought I was the only person who wanted him.
I want them to spread the floor. I think it would help out a lot.
He's like the Porzingis we wanted.
He's what the Knicks want. He's what the Knicks need.
Ange, I know you feel the other way. Say your opinion for the fans.
How much that move? How much better are they than the Knicks right now?
With Markkanen?
With
Vucevic. This whole Bulls roster with Vucevic, I don't even see them being much better than the Knicks right now. That's really as simple
right now as presently constructed right now.
Correct.
But that's not why they made the move. I don't think they made the move to go into the top 5 this year and try to win the championship. I think they made the move for future. I think they made the move for next year, knowing that they're going to get a decent draft pick, knowing that they're going to try to re-sign Markkanen, knowing that they're going to they had to prove to Zach LaVine that they were trying to do something to keep him in town.
I agree with you.
Lost him.
Okay.
There you go. We're good.
I was going to say also, it's like, much to like the Knicks and the Bulls are kind of both in a similar stance where you're not necessarily trying, like making the play-in game even is a success story compared to where you've been the past like 3 to 5 years. Neither one of them has made the playoffs since 2015. So just to even be in competition, because the NBA expanded the playoff system to even include 10 teams instead of 8, which is 1, thankful in itself, and 2, you actually have a reason for your fans to watch the game. Which honestly, is big
I don't think the Bulls are better than the Knicks next year either. I don't think this is a move that gets them into the tier with maybe another 3 to get the top tiers.
I think this move puts. I think if the Bulls keep Markkanen, I think this move puts them right around Knicks territory. Yeah,
you think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're putting the Bulls in the playoffs next year?
Yeah,
they're probably gonna make. They're probably gonna make the play-in game this year. So I mean, why not?
Yeah. I think they're going to be. I think like you said, they're on a West Coast trip. They brought too many people in there. I don't know why they did all the things that they did. All that didn't make sense. But
yeah, 5 players in 2 days is a lot.
And now you're trying to incorporate them into your system. I think that they probably felt like they were solidified for at least a play-in game this year, and they were making moves for the future. Because if you really look at it, it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 through 12. Is a toss-up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
The fourth seed right now is 24 and 23 or some shit.
And I think so. A bad week. My point to this whole thing is that a bad week for the Knicks puts them fucking in the lottery again, right? A bad week for the Knicks puts them in the lottery. One Julius Randle sprained ankle or fucking puts them in the fucking lottery. They're sitting in the top 10.
Which, for what's worth, if there was ever a year to actually drop into the lottery, this is the first time in like 4 years.
Yo, Rich, I want to play a little game with you, bro. I got some Knicks memorabilia stuff that I looked up, some weird stuff. I want to see how close you could get to the right number. So right now, we're going to do 3 of them. I got a Steve. I want you to just guess what you think the price is of it. On today, there's a signed Steve Novak card from 2012, 2013. What's the price?
Steve, $13.
Can I also guess, since I didn't actually see any of these?
Let me just show you. Actually, you should have, Joe. Look, this is the card.
Signed Steve Novak card from 2000 and what year?
12-13, which was the glory days of the Knicks.
I'm going to say $9.
I'll say $13.
You're both wrong. $5.99.
$5.99. Wow.
Okay. I try to get the method out.
That was a discount double check year?
That was discount double check year.
Wow.
Crazy.
Who would pay more than $5.99? I feel like it would be either his parents or children.
All right, 2 more.
Rich, we're gonna buy that card and send it to you.
Chris Copeland, 2012, 2013 signed card.
And the Steve Novak was $5.99. That shit's like $3.
No, that's just like $1.
Yo, y'all disrespected Cope. $10. $10.
How is that more than Novak?
You want more than Novak?
What?
$10 and $4 shipping if you guys want.
Oh,
how is that even possible that card is worth more than the Novak card?
I don't know, man. One more though. One more. The legend.
I think that card has a piece of his jersey in it.
It's gotta have something.
Hey, listen, one more. Priggy Smalls. Authentic jersey from 2013-14 against the Lakers. Here's the jersey.
For Pablo Prigioni.
Priggy Smalls, baby.
If you, I don't know, that might be, so that might have more value overseas than it does.
Was I also the only one that knew that Prigioni was like on the Timberwolves like coaching staff last night? Like, was anyone else shocked by that?
Yeah, I feel like he is, right? He is a coach.
He is. They showed him a couple times.
Give me a number, Rich.
That jersey will get you $75.
I was gonna say like $45.99.
You guys are tripping. $4.50 with free shipping.
$4.50 or $450?
$450.
What?
Wow.
Put some respect on my man's name.
No, that's the overseas. But that's you selling that thing overseas.
He played Kobe in that game too. You got some Kobe freaks who get that.
Facts, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did. Yep.
Rich, actually, based on us just talking about Kobe Bryant, they were asking me to ask you this before. I didn't want to ask you, but I'm going to do it because, I mean, why not? You're a cool dude. Who in Hollywood or in America would actually be able to date Vanessa Bryant without the media going haywire anytime soon?
If she ever decided to date again.
If ever.
If she ever decided to date again. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for Vanessa Bryant because I put Kobe in the same kind of, see, this is the deal. I put Kobe in the same kind of place where Lauren London's in right now. Like with Nipsey, right?
Yeah.
Because of who they were, how the relationship played out, how the family didn't mess with Vanessa. She rocked with Kobe through the whole Colorado situation, getting back together. Now they got these beautiful girls as girl dad. It's like the person that comes next is going to be like, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for that person because the stands, I mean, like that relationship was one of those kind of relationships that was like.
It's like a Beyonce Jay-Z.
Like I don't even know. I would think
even better.
I think if Beyonce
more
left
powerful
Jay-Z tomorrow and dated somebody else, that new guy would be cool. They would be all right with that.
I said like Dwayne The Rock Johnson's got to be the next one. Someone like that caliber.
People are gonna like, I think, honestly, I think she's off limits. I think she's Vanessa Bryant for now, she's off limits.
If you were to put a time frame on it, how long do you think she would have to be off limits for?
2 to 4.
Yeah, I would say about 5. How long has Nipsey been gone? 2?
2 or 3.
2 or 3, and Lauren London is still like, you heard about her going on vacation.
Yep. You can't even say anything wrong. You're so canceled. It's like protect these women at all costs.
5 years, man. 5 years for Vanessa.
We love you, Vanessa. We meant no disrespect.
No disrespect, but I think it's a testament to their relationship. I don't think it's a disrespect at all. I think it's a testament to
and it can't be nobody from the league, Rich. It can't be nobody from the league.
It can't be nobody from the league. It cannot be a hip hop artist.
Matt Barnes and Derek Fisher got into a fight, and they were both alive.
Definitely nobody in the urban culture. She needs to go find somebody who can be like, well, I don't even know who Kobe is. Like I don't even know who
like
that
a doctor from France or something.
That's a date Jeff Bezos.
Like she needs to just start popping up on somebody's yacht that nobody even knows, like some guy from the Ukraine or something crazy.
Yeah, that's probably the best. I agree. That's probably the best situation.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough on her, and she has the kids, and I think that the kids are almost like America's children now.
Yeah, facts.
So anybody that's even dating her, they're gonna be like, "What? We don't want him around our kids." And it's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like
Kobe,
it's literally your children.
Yeah, Kobe. Yeah, it's like America's kids now.
Rich, we're about to wrap up in a sec. One thing I definitely wanted to ask you, just because you have been on reality TV so long, reality is usually in quotes. How much of Love and Hip Hop or anything else you've been on seems real versus how much is like real-ish, but you have to do 3 takes for it?
What reality TV is basically this. They pry into your life, they find out things, and then they try to put it in front of the camera. How you react to those things is how the reality plays out. So if you're going to be real with yourself, sometimes, things probably are fake because you know that you need to make a good scene, and you probably make this mountain out of a molehill, right? Because you need a good scene and you need to turn up. People do that.
Spray some of the eye drops in the eyes, you can't really cry kind of thing.
Exactly. So it's like, I need this moment, so I need to do what I need to do. A lot of people oftentimes do that. And then the people do it the other way. They're like, I'm not giving you shit. I don't give a fuck if you shot somebody in front of me. I'm not even gonna shed a tear. I'm not even gonna act like I care because I'm just determined not to give you anything. So it works on both ends of the spectrum.
I feel like that's the TV nobody wants to watch though. Those people don't make it on the reality TV.
And that's exactly why those people don't make it. So if you have done your research and you know what reality TV is all about, then you know what you need to do, and you need to make good TV.
Rich, Angelo's favorite show with his girlfriend since he's been, and I was going to bring it up. That Angelo has he's had back surgery. He's been laying down for the past 2 months, binge watching Jersey Shore.
Nah.
Oh,
the new Jersey Shore?
And you talk to him.
Listen, my girl watches it. I watch it with them. I watch it with her. I mean, listen, I love Jersey Shore back then. I'm just watching it now just to accompany my girl.
Angelo, anyone that's ever heard you speak at all knew you liked Jersey Shore.
Yeah, they know already.
I was gonna say that that's not a far reach. I feel like you might have even tried to get casted for that show.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it now. Rich, you won. Want to know?
I watched your show with my sister religiously, and all I'm gonna say is I'm in love with Erica Mena through the internet, bro. And I wish you guys would have played it out, bro. I wish you guys would have played it out.
I don't know, man. I know. I mean, this is the part where I start getting in trouble.
Nah.
This is the part because I can't stand that girl.
That's entirely up to you, man. I was just going to say a last comment real quick, because I did look up your wiki fan page prior to this. It is just really funny to see how it's listed. It says like ex-girlfriend, fling, ex-girlfriend, fling, ex-girlfriend. All the way at the bottom, it just says baby mama. And I'm like, dying when I see that.
So the internet is undefeated, man. It's like this. You do what you do. Like, I worked at Bad Boy for 10 years before I got on reality TV, right? So it's like the way the world works now, nobody cares about 2 weeks ago. They only care about the present. So I don't even get mad at it anymore. It used to bother me on Tuesday mornings to wake up to all the bullshit. after the show came on Monday nights. But now it's just like, yo, it is what it is. I go to Twitter, I talk my sports shit, I fuck with you guys, I do what I do, and I just live my life.
We
It's
appreciate
the best
you.
way to
Man.
live, honestly.
We appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on the show for real. It means a lot to us.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, Rich, thank you so
Black.
much. Before we leave, anything you want to plug?
Nah, just, Richie Dollaz, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? The Yankees are winning 2-1 right now.
Yes, sir.
Opening day is here. The Knicks are going to make the playoffs. New York sports is back, man. It's exciting.
1-0. Rich Dollaz
bringing the
currently
championship.
undefeated against Angelo. It means we're going to have you back for the rematch.
Oh, Angelo don't want it. He don't.
We're getting Jared Jeffries on before the playoffs. If you want to do like a playoff,
Yeah, if you want to jump on with us.
With who?
Jared Jeffries.
Jared Jeffries.
He was on the Knicks. He played in the NBA for 11
from the
years.
university. No, the kid from the Indiana. They used to play for Indiana.
Yeah, he played
Oh,
next
okay.
one.
Look at
Choked
he's
down
laughing
Melo.
because he didn't think I knew who he was. I know Jared Jeffries. He used to play for Indiana before he played for the Knicks. But yeah, I'd love to come on with him.
Hell yeah, cool. So we'll set that up.
Let's go.
We'll be in touch.
All right, let's do it.
All right,
We're
brother.
up.
Nice
Thank you
talking
again,
to you, Rich.
All right, guys.
Peace. Guys, thank you again for another episode of the Big Nick Energy Podcast. Rich killed it. Vin killed it in the background. Angelo definitely lost. Ben, any last words before we sign off?
Go Knicks.
Let's go, Knicks. Let's go, Mets. Peace.